Welcome to the Spotlight Series podcast. I'm your host, Slick Sean. Man, I got the dopest gig in the world. I get to have conversations with entertainers and entrepreneurs and listen to their inspiring stories. You can stream the podcast at spotlightseries.net, watch on Roku TV, Facebook Watch, IGTV, and listen on all podcast platforms. In a world full of darkness, the spotlight is on you. What's good, world? This is Slick Sean, the host of Spotlight Series. Hey, we got a special guest. She's the founder of Liza with a Z podcast. She's training with Eddie Santiago. She's a brand ambassador for Chick Jitsu. She's a sponsored athlete with Fusion CBD. And she's on the interview team for Combat Night. Welcome, Liza Soler with Liza with the Z podcast. How you doing?
What's up, guys? I'm doing great. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. I'm super excited to be on the show today.
Thank you for falling in here with us. Did I pronounce your last name right?
It's Soler. You gotta roll that R.
I didn't roll it good enough. Soler.
Come on now.
I tried though, didn't I?
Spice on the end, you know?
I tried it, didn't I?
I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Yeah. You saw how I tried. You saw it.
You did. I did. I'm like, okay.
I didn't go full gringo. I tried it. So we got a couple of questions we want to ask you today.
Sure.
So where are you from?
So my whole family's from Jersey. I was born up there, and then we moved to Florida when I was younger. And so I'm a South Florida girl. I've been raised in South Florida my whole life. Right now I am living out of Wesley Chapel, Florida, 20 minutes north of Tampa, which is our major city here. And honestly, I'm a single mom of two. I've come to this area to rebuild myself, and I'm just hustling out here right now. I'm working and creating, I'm branding, I'm promoting, I'm doing everything I can right now. And it's been a ride for sure.
Yeah, I definitely see your grind. That's definitely one of the reasons why we wanted to have you on here and spotlight you and put you under this spotlight to talk about everything you're doing. So what was your childhood like? Tell us about what that looked like.
So my father is a soccer coach. He was also a former soccer player for his country in Honduras. So having a coach as a father has always been something that I had to challenge myself with, because when you have a coach as a father, they always want the best out of you, no matter what. I don't care if it's tying your shoes right. I don't care if it's racing down the block. You got to be the best at everything. So I've always had that mindset to work hard for everything that I want in life. And, there were some challenges along the way because I'm very outspoken. I'm not afraid to say what I want to say, and I mean it. And sometimes people don't know how to handle that type of pressure. And as a kid, same way. I'm in your face. I have 4 brothers, and if you mess with them, you mess with me, you mess with me, you mess with them. And so I've always been unfortunately, I was a hothead growing up. But then as I got older, I had to learn. And then that's what got me into the boxing, because boxing and mixed martial arts in general kind of helped me get that discipline and the structure and just overall the respect of the sport. And it's helped my life, honestly. It's helped my life, and having that background in my childhood and everything that I've been through has developed the woman I am today to just be passionate and be happy with doing what I'm doing now.
Dope. So I bet it was pretty tough having a dad for a coach.
Yes, he still coaches now, and he makes champions. Like, my dad's really good at what he does. He's been doing it for over 25 years, and to live under his shadow sometimes sucks, because I feel like I'm never going to reach to that level of who he is. But then again, I'm building my own life. I'm building my own brand. I'm taking a different path. So nothing is ever going to measure up because we have 2 different lifestyles. But yeah, it is tough. And he's still to this day keeps trying to push me. You got to do better. You got to do better. You got to be bigger. You got to want more. And hey, I mean, I have somebody in my corner that's always pushing me to be better. How can I fail?
Yeah, that's a great thing, to have somebody have your back and to push you. I love that. So you got a background in martial arts. Tell me more about that. Like, how long have you been doing martial arts?
About 4 years now. As a single mom, I've tried everything to lose weight, go back and forth. I had 2 kids, you know, and I neglected myself for so long, always trying to people please, making sure everybody else around me was taken care of. And I tried everything. I'm talking pills, I'm talking fast diets, a detox, and everything you could think of to try to, you know, better my health, but nothing was working for me. And then finally one day, a friend of mine recommended going to a kickboxing class, and like a cardio kickboxing class. And I took one class, and honestly, it's changed my life. I'm here today. And I have a podcast revolving combat sports. Like, it just took 1 minute to really change my life and make a decision to not only make a decision to move forward, but continue and be consistent with it. And that's where I am now. And mixed martial arts has saved my life. I'm very pro women empowerment. I think every woman should have at least basic self-defense knowledge for any kind of case. You never know what's going to happen in life and in this world. And, you know, with everything going on in life, there are people out there that can cause harm. And me, I'm a single mom. Somebody can target me in a Target parking lot with my 2 kids, but you're not going to run up on me because I'm well trained. So I'm the wrong mom to come to.
That's right.
So they're going to catch a fade trying to grab your purse or anything, right?
Not this mama bear and my cub, and my kids know too. I teach them too. So
Good.
not this team.
That's perfect that you said your kids, because that's my next segue. So you have 2 kids. How old are they?
I have Jason, who is 11, and Genesis, who is 7. They're everything. They are my support
too, right? You spoiled them.
They are. I ain't gonna lie. My family has done well in that department. But they also know the value of hard work. They see everything that I do. Sometimes my son's my cameraman. I need him to help me with podcast stuff. Sometimes Jenny, you know, now she sits here and I can hear her in her room. Like, she'll make pretend she's on a show now. So
look at that.
Yeah, the kid, they're absorbing everything that I'm doing as a parent, and hopefully, I like later on in life, if they see all this hard work I'm doing, that will carry on into them as well. You know?
It definitely will. I'm sure you're instilling some of that tough love that your dad probably instilled in you.
Yeah, I catch myself like, man, I sound like the old man right now. So
it's funny how we try not to be like our parents, but we end up being just like them.
It's inevitable. It's inevitable. I've said it to myself when I was a teenager, I'm never going to be like you. And then here I am, lo and behold, spitting out the same knowledge to my own kids. So
yeah,
life is life.
Yeah. Are any of them interested in martial arts or anything?
So they both have taken Taekwondo. My son is an advanced orange belt, and my daughter is an orange belt as well. Ever since we moved here, they haven't picked it up because the Rona had like shut down a lot of gyms around here in the beginning when we first moved here. But they have that knowledge still, and eventually they'll get back into it. But they do have the love for it. They still have their basic knowledge of it for sure.
That's dope. Keep pushing. I'm inspired just by what you do, just to let you know that.
Thank you, Sean. Honestly, it has its ups and downs. It is a challenge being a woman in a male dominant sport. They don't want to hear what you got to say. They don't care, you know, but I'm the type of woman that I'm going to say what I got to say no matter what, because I have the authority to. And I don't just talk the talk, I walk the walk, because I also fight. So, you know, I'm also always challenging myself to educate myself more and travel and train with other coaches and other fighters that are way more above pro athlete level, just so I can absorb that and be able to talk about it. And I love sharing all these people's stories because I know great individuals that have come from crazy backgrounds, and to see their success now, I like to share positive content. I'm not really about like controversy or sharing negative stuff. Sometimes I could do the call outs because I have some fighters that come on my show and they're against each other. So of course they do call outs and crazy stuff. but it's a part of the game, and I love every single minute of it. I enjoy the ride for sure.
Super dope. So I saw that some of your passions are along with combat sports and fitness, mental health. Tell us more about that passion.
So I throughout this time, well, I am a mom, and not many people know, but my son has special needs. He is diagnosed autism spectrum, as well as ADHD, and among other family members that I have that suffer with their own depressions or anxiety. I have my own anxiety that I deal with. And it's important to me because for so long, I didn't know how to cope with certain things. Or in the Latino culture, going to a psychologist or somebody to talk to was considered being crazy, you know? And when I was growing up, I just didn't know how to cope or deal with certain situations a certain way, or I would lash out. And it wasn't until I became an adult and I said, you know what, I need to talk to somebody. I need to talk to a professional. Because I also have went through very traumatic situations in past relationships, toxic relationships, mentally abusive, emotionally, verbally. And when you go through those situations, you're very blinded. You don't see what you're going through. Other people may see it around you. Other people may feel sorry for you. Maybe they're like, oh man, like she's going through it, but nobody really knows what you're going through until you get that help. And then once I sat down and I spoke with a psychologist, I got to know what my triggers were. I got to know what the underlying past issues were I was carrying into my adulthood. And so mental health is so important to me because I feel people really should get in tune and get the help that they need if they need it's not, there's nothing wrong with getting help. And I think just people have that mindset that you're going to be considered crazy if you go reach out for help when you need it.
Yeah, I totally agree. Definitely in the Black community, a lot of people feel like there's a stigmatism that if you go see a counselor or a therapist, or if you even acknowledge that you have some type of mental issue, it makes you weak. But to me, acknowledging that and finding that out and getting help with that's strength, if you ask me. For sure.
100%. And that's why I try to promote mental health and fitness and boxing and anything to help just become a better you at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm definitely an advocate of that. I have a therapist that I see myself, so it's definitely something that I implore people to do. If you have issues, mental health issues, in depression, just sad, see a therapist, see a counselor. Talk to somebody.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
So I also see that you have some training and knowledge in Muay Thai, Sanshu, and Jiu-Jitsu. You about to knock somebody out, right?
Yeah.
Were you in a
I,
fight or
I'm very
something? You
I'm
fight too,
very
right?
humbled. I'm a humble person about my skill because I'm always learning more. There's always somebody better. There's always room for improvement. And I've challenged myself within every single one of those disciplines because I enjoy it. I genuinely enjoy the sport. I enjoy wrestling around with people on the ground. I mean, I have 4 brothers, and literally our living room would be a WWE match sometimes on Monday Night Raw. And, we'll be in the living room. And so I'm used to being in this environment all the time. And you know what? It's just who I am. I feel like I have 2 parts of me. I have the woman who is soft and gentle and fragile, and I can get dressed up and look like a doll. And then I have the other warrior woman inside of me that is ready to defend and attack and just be powerful, independent, confident. And we're all one and the same. And that's what I love being about myself. I love being that woman.
Yeah. And I see that you train with, is that the Eddie Santiago?
So Eddie Santiago is my boxing coach here in Tampa. There's probably a couple Eddie Santiagos.
Okay.
I met him here about a year and a half ago at a boxing gym that we both were at. And when Corona hit, all the gyms closed, but I still needed that exercise. I needed to be active. I couldn't just sit in my house for 2 months straight. And, I did, but we worked one-on-one, and we even worked in parking lots, and like just to get that work in. And he's helped me develop my skill throughout this year and a half. And he coached my corner for this last fight that I did. And we've developed such a close friendship, trust, loyalty. And I forever have love for this man because I put my life in his hands, and for him, and that's a lot of trust to give somebody, that kind of access in your life, to make sure, like, all right, listen, I'm putting my trust in you so that way I am able to protect myself no matter what. And, I got a lot of respect for Eddie Santiago, for sure, 100%. Follow him, Breaking Barriers Boxing.
Man, ain't nothing like a good coach, you know what I'm saying? It's good to hear that you have somebody that's in your corner like that, for sure.
100.
So, you're a brand ambassador. What is Chick Jitsu? Let us know what that is.
So Chick Jitsu actually is a all-female, all-girls jiu-jitsu tournament that is hosted by Jeff Amoy, and she's an amazing jiu-jitsu grappler, martial artist. It's women-owned company, and I am always going to be supportive of women business owned companies. And I'm actually going to they have an event next weekend that I'm going to be at, doing media and things like that, taking pictures of the women in the back and getting more interviews done. But I'm inspired by her company and what she's doing and promoting women empowerment, and all these beautiful, very women and girl individuals that are there to like perform. I got to support that. And so they came to me, we kind of came to each other and came to an agreement. And she said, well, you seem like you can be a good representation of my company, branding and promoting and just being a good example to other women and other girls out there. And I was honored. And now, I promote them, and now I'll get their merch. And I get also a discount code Lisa20 on their website if you want to order some of their merchandise. So that's one of the things that I do for them, just keep promoting women empowerment. And that's basically how I got involved with being their brand ambassador.
Dope. Well, as a girl dad, I'm for sure about the women and girl power, for sure.
That's right. We're out here.
That's right. Because my daughter, she'll be 17 this year, and I teach her the skills of money and minding your business. Like I'd be telling my daughter, I'll just drop a message on her like, hey, stay focused. Don't be worrying about nobody else,
That's
like
exactly good knowledge. Wise words from Pops.
For sure. So you're on the interview team for Combat Night? That sounds like a dope gig.
Yeah, so I've been going to Combat Night MMA for a couple of years, just as a fan. I would go and watch all these great fights, and like last year when I decided to start Lisa with the Z podcast, I started interviewing a lot of the fighters on their card. And just for fun, just because I love to talk to people. And then I presented the idea of doing like post-fight interviews, kind of similar to what UFC does after these guys get out of the cage and their wins. So I was like, I didn't see that was happening at their events. So I'm like, hey, I'm down to have interviews and talk to the fighters after their fight if they're willing to, or if they're capable, depending on how injured they are. And then, so we started that, and now it's taking off. And, now I'm behind the scenes running around, making sure the fighters are getting ready for their interviews. And we have the guys doing their interview questions, and it's a whole media production after that. And I enjoy being on the scene and enjoying really good fights, and being able to promote it for all the people out, like in pay-per-view, that can't come to the fights. So that's how we started that.
Nice. And what about the Fusion CBD? What's up with that gig? You're a sponsor athlete? Come on now. What's up with that?
So Fusion CBD products, they're amazing. Danny and Vlad are amazing businessmen. They support everybody that supports them. I'm talking about, I'm a single mom that's not really a professional fighter, but I was looking for products to help me with weight loss and performance and recovery. And that's important in this sport because recovery products, you get a lot of injuries, you're sore. And then there's performance products to help you during your workout, like cardio. They have slim fast pills, they have their vapes and their gummies and all kinds of good stuff, and coffee, you name it, they got it. And maybe like 2 years ago, I decided to purchase one of their products. And little by little, I would just try, like maybe I would challenge myself every month to try a new product of theirs, just to see, like, am I really wanting to invest in this company? And then I did. And so I started sharing their stuff on IG, little boomerangs and Instagram videos of me drinking the water, like little things like that. And then I started taking some of their weight loss supplements, and I started to see the difference. I'm talking about I started to see the difference in my body. And I told them that. I'm like, hey, I just want to let you know that your products are helping my life. And I would love to be able to promote it. I am a true testimony of your brand and your product. And then when I came up to this fight, they decided to sponsor me with all the products that I need to get through the fight camp. And now I'm going to continue on being an athlete for them. And I'm talking, like I said, I'm a small time amateur here, single mom, and they have top flight athletes like Hector Lombard and Jim Allers. They have like the Goat Shit Academy, all these big top athletes in the biz, bare knuckle, all kinds of fights, and they promote them as well. So I'm just very humbled that they even consider me talented enough and skilled enough to represent their company and also just be an athlete for them.
Oh, that's so dope.
That's how I got involved with CBD.
Well, I just want to thank you for stopping through. And as far as like any final words or words of encouragement for people that may want to, do what you do, like a young person in the future, tell us, something that would be a good inspiration for them to get into the field.
Believe in yourself. That's number one. Many obstacles that could come in your way. You may not have 100 people on your team. You may not have that drive at times. Sometimes you're going to want to give up, and you just got to see the bigger picture. You got to write yourself down like a list of goals. I do a vision board. Like at the end of the year, ready for the next year, I'll cut out papers and everything, magazine, make it look cute, artsy, whatever. But I put it up in my room in a place where I know I got to see it every single day because I know I got to accomplish this stuff. And little by little, that's what I do. I just do a checklist. Check, check, check. This is done. Do that. Just find your passion. Find everything that you think is something that you love and build off of that. Because sometimes when you're working at a job that may provide for you and be beneficial to you and, have you in a financial status, sometimes you got to take risks. Like me, I put myself at risk financially to continue with my dream of this podcast. And I do see the benefits of me putting in all the time and the work and the sacrifice. So, change requires sacrifice. And so one day I hope to encourage people to continue living their dreams, being positive and being motivated to succeed.
There it is. That's what me and Atlanta was talking about. People going to look up one day and be like, oh man, he or she did it. They did it overnight, but they don't see all the hard work that we put in, the blood, sweat, and tears that we put in our craft and what we do.
For sure. Hopefully I'll come to Atlanta and I'll come hang out with you guys soon.
Do that.
And, I do want to make a trip. Ever since we had fun at that event for 2 Hot Radio, I definitely want to connect more with the Atlanta scene for sure.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a lot of gyms and places to just kind of link up. It's amazing here. It's Wakanda. I got to get back to Tampa myself, Clearwater to be exact, because my favorite store in the whole wide world is there. They don't do CBD, but if you know, you know. I walked in there and walked out without a medical card. Come on now, I can't go nowhere. I was in Miami and I couldn't even get nothing in Miami with no, without a medical card.
You gotta let me know Miami because I got people in Miami.
Oh, what? I'll let you know next time then. But when I went to Clearwater, they held me down. Oh my God.
We're gonna have to do a Clearwater trip.
What? Oh my God. LHG something. I can't think of the name of it. I give it to you though. But you walk in there, you don't even need a card and you can walk out with your stuff.
Yeah, I need that in my life right now.
In Georgia, we ain't even doing medical here.
Give it another year or two, everybody's gonna be on medical.
Absolutely.
At least medical.
People are gonna be recreational, like Cali. You know, I've been to Cali right when they made it recreational, and it's kind of awesome just to see people hanging out, like literally walking across the street, they're smoking their fucking J, and I'm like, dang, man, when are we gonna go like that? Right. I want to be smoking my J walking down the street too. So
I know, right? When I went to Jamaica, it was the same thing.
Yeah, it's a slow process, but it's gonna get there.
It's slow. And we thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.
Appreciate you for coming through. And I just want to let you know, Lisa, in a world full of darkness, the spotlight is on you. Thanks for watching Spotlight Series Podcast. I'm your host, Slick Sean. You can follow on Facebook, Spotlight Series Podcast, on IG, spotlight.series1. You can stream the podcast at spotlightseries.net. Watch on Roku TV, Facebook Watch, IGTV, and stream on all podcast listening platforms. In a world full of darkness, the spotlight is on you.